Lizardmen Patch 6.3 Buildings Deep Dive. I'm going to mostly be babbling about campaign impact of the changes. Let's go! Starting with what we see from a minor settlement, then to what you can only see in a major one, and you'll see why I did it like this shortly. Let's start with your economic stuff. Skink Foraging Camp begins at 500 gold for growth plus 20 and casualty replenishment plus 2%, super quick 1-turn build time. 2 turns 1000 gold for insect breeding farm, 3 turns 2000 gold for meat storage hall. We got to growth plus 40 and casualty replenishment plus 4%. And how to read that, if you were going to get 10%, it's 14% now. Skink Favlas is 1 turn 500 gold for 150 gold per turn, so it pays for itself very quickly. 2 turns and 1000 gold for Skink Barrios, 300 gold a turn. 3 turns 2000 gold for Kroq-Gar Labor District for 150 gold per turn. This isn't wasted time, this is your foundation, and the economics are supposedly improved, yes. Old One's Monument is the start of a control line, but here we can only go to 3 stages. 1 turn 1000 gold for plus 2 control, 2 turns 1500 gold for plus 3 control a turn, 3 turns 2000 gold for, you guessed it, plus 4 control. That's it for now. Tier 2 is needed for Stone Market, 2 turns 1000 gold, cannot be built in major settlements, plus 5% to income from all buildings in the local province. This tops out at 3 turns 1500 gold to get to the Tier 3 version, plus 8% income from all buildings, and plus 1 recruitment capacity. This will be important. Before going further, the main settlement buildings are 100 gold per turn, 10 growth, minus 1 corruption, 4 skink cohorts, and 3 cohorts with javelins for a garrison. Lizardman Plaza gets you 150 gold per turn, plus 1 control, plus 20 growth, minus 1 corruption, same garrison, and 1 source warriors without shields. 6 turns and 4000 gold more would get to Henwin here a Holy Ziggurat for 200 gold a turn, plus 2 control, plus 30 growth, minus 1 corruption, 2 skink cohorts, 3 with javelins, 2 source warriors, and 1 source spears without shields. For defense, 2 turns 2000 gold for the first watch building, reveals ambushing armies, control plus 3, corruption minus 3, anti-plague properties, and plus 10 discoverability of bad things under the hood. 4 turns, 3000 gold to upgrade this and get better anti-plague, control plus 3 but corruption minus 4, discoverability of evil hidden things plus 30. Skink Lookouts at 5 turns and 2000 gold is your first step toward real defense, adding to the garrison with 1 unit of Pterodon Riders, and as an old Henwin player, let me assure you this unit can be really valuable against the right armies. 1 unit of Saurus Spears with shields, and 1 unit of Saurus Warriors with shields. And, yes, unlike Scarstick, the Henwin still gets Saurus in garrisons just fine. Saurus Garrison forces on walled settlement battles allows the Holy Strela ability to annoy enemy ranged forces. Garrison adds an extra Saurus Spear and Saurus Warrior unit with shields, and they're better now, even default. The special defense building you can build in a Tier 3 settlement, no less, is the Scrying Pool, needed for a sequence of scrying, providing campaign movement range plus 15% for armies starting their movement in this region. If you are in Lustria, do not dismiss this. Research rate plus 5 generally, hero action success chance plus 10%, enemy hero action success chance minus 10%, your ambush success chance plus 10% in a region with your own pool. Also, if Elder Wisdom is researched, the research rate gets another plus 5. Speaking of pools, 2 turns and 750 gold required for your basic Tier 1 skink building, outdoor spawning pool. Sounds refreshing. This lets you recruit red-crested skinks and skink skirmishers. Note that any settlement building lets you recruit skink cohorts and skink cohorts with javelins. That wasn't always the case, right? So it's notable. 3 turns and 1500 gold for spawn pools of the Braves unlocks chameleon stalkers and chameleon skinks, so that's your thing. Red-crested skinks and skink skirmishers Tier 1, chameleons Tier 2. You also unlock skink chief recruitment. Henwin can recruit 1 turn 1 because he has that building already. Obviously requiring a Tier 3 settlement, the Tier 3 building takes 4 more turns and 2500 more gold for spawn pools of the Chosen, and these now allow you to get Kroq-Gars and Sacred Kroq-Gars with no extra building required for the latter. It also unlocks the Radical Technology Sequence of Infiltration for stock for all heroes. It also gives you Skink Chief capacity +1, so you can expand capacity easily for them. And there's not exactly another way to do that from just buildings. It takes 3 turns and 1500 gold as a Tier 2 settlement for Underground Lagoon unlocking Saurus Warriors and Saurus Spears, unshielded. 4 turns and 2500 gold more for Sacred Spawning Caverns for the shielded versions, and that's it. No more from a minor settlement. 3 turns and 1500 gold for Pterodon Hatchery. I'm convinced it was 2 turns sometime in the past, maybe, maybe not. This unlocks Pterodon Riders and Pterodon Riders with Fireleech Bolas. That's it. If you don't need any more of them, demolish away. Now, 2 turns and 2000 gold at Tier 2 gets you Cold One Nesting Grounds, from which you can recruit Feral Cold Ones. Being able to do this regularly at Tier 2 even is unprecedented. There's a tech to remove the Feral Rage part as well. Seriously, they're armor-piercing, so don't laugh at all. 3 turns and 3000 gold upgrades this to Cold One Caves, which lets you get Cold One Riders, Cold One Spear Riders, and Horned Ones without extra buildings being needed. That's a big deal. But the point is, you can't go directly to the Tier 3 building anymore. So that's a thing. At Tier 2, 4 turns and 3000 gold, you can build the Sacrificial Altar of Sotek. Wait, what? Weren't you Tier 3 before? Unlock Sequence of Heroism at Tier 2. Control +1, income from post-battle loot +2% faction-wide. Yeah, I remember that part. Corruption -4. And you unlock Salamander and Razordon hunting packs at Tier 2? Whoa! Tehenoan gets 1 free sacrifice per turn from the building. Cool. 5 turns and 5000 gold to upgrade 2 Blood Shrines of Sotek. Control +2, income from post-battle loot +4% faction-wide, corruption -6, 2 sacrifices per turn, and unlocks the Ancient Salamander at Tier 3. But that's all our fun for now. For 4 turns and 3000 gold, Shrine of the Old Ones unlocks the Skink Priest at Tier 2. Oh my, Old Ones. Corruption -6, income from all buildings +4% local province. This upgrades for 5 turns and 5000 gold to Temple of the Old Ones. You know the one that unlocks Sequence of Stoicism, unlocks Skink Oracle at Tier 3, Skink Priest Hero Capacity +1, Corruption -8, income from all buildings local province +8%, but there it ends. Well, wait, I came back to know something about a Skink Priest in the Garrison army, so that's good. 4 turns and 2000 gold, which now feels a bargain. For Taming Pen, you get 4 cages of exotic animals per turn, a trading resource, and you can get feral Bastillodons. 5 turns and only 3000 gold upgrades to Beast Lair, 8 cages of exotic animals, unlocks Feral Stegodon, Bastillodon Solar Engine, Bastillodon Revivification Crystal, and Bastillodon Ark of Sotek, which requires the... Psych! There's no requirement anymore! And that's it. Now, we shift to the big settlements, and I'll do the settlement buildings first. The Cold Blood Commune brings in 100 gold, +10 growth, -2 corruption, adds walls, Skink Cohort ×6, Javelins ×5. And that's it. 5 turns and 2000 gold for Temple Precinct. For 150 gold, +1 control, +20 growth, -2 corruption, you get 2 Skink Cohorts, Javelins ×6, Unshielded Saurus Spears, and Unshielded Saurus Warriors ×2 each. 6 turns and 4000 gold for Tier 3, and I'm going over this so that you wince and start thanking the old ones for every construction boost you can find. Income 200 gold, control +2, growth +30, corruption -2, Garrison is Javelins ×6, the previous Saurus Warriors, plus 1 Shielded Saurus Spears, 1 Shielded Saurus Warriors. 7 turns and 8000 gold for Tier 4. Income 250, control +2, growth +40, corruption -2. Note what's changing and what isn't. Garrison is Javelins ×3, it went down. 2 regular Saurus Warriors, 1 Reg Saurus Spears, 2 shielded of each of those, and 1 Pterodon Riders. 8 turns and a mighty 16,000 gold for Tier 5, 300 income, control +5, growth +50, corruption -2, Garrison now 2 Saurus Spears, 2 Saurus Warriors, 3 Saurus Warrior Shields, 2 Saurus Spears Shields, 2 Javelins, 1 Pterodon Rider. If you're wondering about ports, Tier 1 is 75 gold, 10 growth. Tier 3 needs 5 turns, 1500 gold. Return is 150 gold and 20 growth per turn. Tier 5 needs 7 turns and 3000 gold, 300 gold, and 30 growth back. Yeah, Lizardmen are not big on sailors and trade for some reason. So I almost forgot the Geomantic pylons, and this system is unchanged. Starting at Tier 3 in major settlements only, 4 turns and 2000 gold to get the base building, starting your pylon life, and giving plus 8% to income from all buildings. Geomantic Spire needs 5 turns and 3000 gold, and income boosted plus 10%. Geomantic Locust requires 6 turns and 4000 gold, and boosts income by plus 12%. Of course, doing this properly in adjacent provinces makes your commandments much stronger. For walls, Mystic Barriers takes 5 turns and 2000 gold, grants Holy Stella ability, upgrades the external towers to ballistas. You get 1 of each source unit with shields, 1 Cold One Riders, this can be clutch, and 1 Feral Stegodon. 6 turns, 4000 gold for Force Walls, upgrade to Arcane Bolts for towers, get 2 Source Warriors with shields, 1 Cold One Riders, 1 Feral Stegodon, 1 Kroq-Gar unit, augmenting the city garrison. 7 turns, 6000 gold for Energy Dome, Rays of Light Tower upgrade, which can be devastating if stuff actually enters its range. Garrison 2 Source Warriors shields, 1 Source Spears shields, 1 Cold One Riders, 1 Feral Stegodon, 1 Kroq-Gars. Clearly the main thing here is the beams. This is, of course, in addition to main settlement garrison. Before going into the final building upgrades, the remaining 2 special buildings are still significant. You no longer need to build Weapon Crafter's Commune for access to various units, but it's not dead weight. 4 turns, 3000 gold is a bargain in a sense, getting you plus 1 recruit rank, global recruitment duration -1 for armies in that region, and local recruitment capacity plus 1 besides. Star Chambers are absolutely critical to the faction's late-game clout. 4 turns, 3000 gold, each grants Lord Recruit rank for Slans plus 3 faction-wide per Star Chamber, plus 2 Hero Recruit rank faction-wide, which will stack with everything else we've mentioned, minus 15% attrition when under siege, Recruit rank plus 1, and no reason it won't stack with all the rest. Income from all buildings plus 5%. So let's continue where we left off. The control building needs 4 turns and 3000 gold for the inscrutable monolith. Well, let's make it scrutable. Control plus 5, but when province control is 75 or higher, recruitment cost is minus 20% for all armies in the province. 5 turns and 4000 gold to go to Pyramid Vaults, control plus 6, and then when it's 75 or more control, recruitment cost minus 30%, and upkeep minus 10% for armies in that province. Aren't you glad you grinded? The source building needs 5 turns and 4000 gold more to become the Temple Guard Barracks, unlocking Temple Guard, unlocking Source Scar Veterans, providing plus 1 capacity per Temple Guard Barracks, providing plus 1 rank for fresh veterans. Fresh to you, anyway. There are still veterans. Pterodon Hatchery needs 4 more turns and 4000 more gold to become the Ripperdactyl Hatchery for Ripperdactyl Riders and Koala. If you're recruiting lots, do that. If you're not, get Blessed Riders or RORs. Blood Shrines of Sotek upgrades to Crimson Pyramid of Sotek with 6 turns and 10,000 gold. Control plus 3, income from post-battle loot plus 6% faction-wide, corruption minus 8, and sacrificial offerings plus 3 per turn. And, there was something else, wasn't there? Oh yeah, you unlock Dread Saurians and get plus 1 faction-wide cap for both varieties, feral and non-feral, just by building the pyramid. On this note, 7 turns and 15,000 gold for Golden Ziggurat of Sotek. Control plus 4, post-battle loot plus 8%, offerings 4 per turn, and unit capacity for the Dread Saurian units plus 2 each rather than plus 1. That means more Dread Saurians, if you can afford them, obviously. This was obviously one of their focuses in the half rework. Temple of the Old Ones only goes up 1 more rank, 6 turns and 10,000 gold for Ziggurat of the Old Ones, corruption minus 10. That is a lot. Income from buildings plus 12% for local province, that is also a lot. Plus 1 capacity for Skink Oracles, still only plus 1 capacity for priests, but plus 1 to recruit rank for each and every temple you build. The watch building mapped passageways needs 5 turns, 4,000 gold for the rebuilt labyrinth upgrade. Minus 50% chance of plague spreading, plague duration minus 1 turn, exposes hidden armies, plague immunity 3 turns, control plus 3, corruption minus 5, corruption in adjacent provinces minus 2, and detectability of evil things underground plus 40. I did that because no way was I going to end with that building. Nope. Beast Lair needs 6 turns and the seemingly paltry 5,000 gold for 12 exotic animals a turn and unlocking the extremely expensive units Feral Carnosaur, Feral Troglodon, and Adjectiveless Stegodon. All winners. 7 turns and 10,000 gold for Pyramid of Itzel for 18 exotic animals a turn. Oh, what else? I must be getting Ancient. The Ancient Stegodon and the Ancient Stegodon with an Engine of the Gods on its back come at this tier with no other buildings required for the latter. At all. Though you may want them anyway, because, more Dread Saurians. So that's it for the buildings. Let's summarize the big highlights. You don't need Weapons Crafter Commune, but it's still helping it, particularly to speed up global recruitment. Not needing multiple buildings for units frees up your planning considerably. Tier 2 Skink Priests and Salamander Hunting Packs is a big deal. Tier 3 Skink Oracles and Ancient Salamanders is just amazing. I think Feral Carnosaurs got more convenient as well somewhere along the way. I haven't felt out everything yet, but we have a maxed out 450 gold per turn basic economy building with a bunch of boosts to province income from buildings. Is it enough? Well, it's not exactly bad, is it? They'll have to tweak it some more if it isn't enough, but that seems a lot closer to what other factions would get, setting aside the lacking ports and that settlement buildings alone absolutely won't save you. I want your feedback on this point. But yeah, with a lot else, I am firmly in favor of these changes. They will revolutionize Mire settlement utility and just lead to a much better variety in armies early on. Not everything will be equally useful in your circumstances, but I'm recruiting a determined Skink Chief right now as I finish the script. I had a choice of Pompous, and I'm not complaining about the so-called nerf, but 30% XP gain gets my first Skink Chief on a Stegodon that much faster. And that is good. And of course, Dahenwan needs a sacrificial altar of Sotek ASAP because I am going to do a video that's separate from this on just the resource buildings once I actually have all the data I need for it, but I don't have that yet. Take care and have fun with the new buildings.